Now there's this insane new trend going viral like crazy that features Vox-style animations, those paper-cut style visuals used to tell documentary stories, and they're pulling in some crazy numbers. So I wanted to see if I could make this kind of animation without paid tools or expensive software. So I did my own research, and I found a way to create these animations completely free without paying for any software. So in this course, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to create high-quality, Vox-style animations from scratch using 100% free AI tools. Plus, simple enough that any beginner can follow along. I mean, just to show you what's possible, check out this animation I made in 5 minutes using this method.
March 18th, 1990, Boston. It is just after 1 in the morning, and the city is still emptying out from St. Patrick's Day. 2 men in police uniforms press the buzzer at a side door of the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum. They say they are responding to a disturbance. A guard lets them in. Within minutes, both night guards are handcuffed, taped, and left in the basement. Then the men go upstairs. They work for 81 minutes. Motion sensors quietly record every step they take through the galleries. In the Dutch room, they cut 2 Rembrandts from their frames, including his only known seascape. They take a Vermeer, one of roughly 34 in the world. They take a Manet from the ground floor, 5 works by Degas, a Chinese bronze beaker, and a small eagle finial from the top of a Napoleonic flag.
All right, now the first thing we're going to need is access to the Vox animation prompt. This should be linked in the description or in the comment section. Just comment prompt and you'll get access to it. Now, the Vox animation document has 3 tabs, and we're going to use all 3 of them for this workflow. Once you've got access to the document, the next thing you need is a chatbot. For this one, I'm going with Claude because it's my personal favorite. But if you don't want to use Claude, you can still use GPT or DeepSeek, depending on the style or aesthetic you're going for. Heads up though, DeepSeek doesn't have a paywall. It's completely free and unlimited. So if you want to go a route like that, DeepSeek would be your best choice. Now that I've got my chatbot, which is Claude, I'm going to head back to the master prompt and click on tab 2, which takes me to the workflow prompt. Then I'll hit Ctrl+E to select everything, Ctrl+C to copy everything, and paste it into my chatbot of choice. Then just send it. Now, once you do this, the chatbot asks you for the material PDF. That's the engine for this whole workflow. All you've got to do is head over to the Vox animation document, go to tab 1, and right below the banner image, you'll see an engine prompt. Click on that and it takes you to a Google Drive. Just download the 9-page document off that drive, head back to your chatbot, upload the document into the prompt box, and type something like doc attached. Then send it. Once you do that, the chatbot asks you what niche you're trying to get into today. Now, Vox animation is mainly used to tell documentary-style stories, so the default here is documentary and crime. But if you wanted to go another route, say history, money, power, disaster, whatever you want to go with, you just pick from here and you'll still get the animation style Vox uses, but with a different storyline. And right now it's asking me how long I'd like my video to be. We've got options from 30 seconds all the way up to 20 minutes. If you're making long-form documentaries, it's always best to aim from 10 minutes upwards, because from 10 minutes up, you've got enough room to add multiple ads, which gives you more revenue. That's just a heads up I like to give my students in my community. For this one, I think I'm going to pick a 90-second duration, because I want the script to be brief and not too long, since this is just a quick tutorial walkthrough. All right, now as you can see, we've got our script, and it looks pretty good. It gave us the word count and a really nice-looking script that starts out with a wonderful hook. Honestly, this looks really good. Now that we've got our script, we need to turn it into a really good, high-quality sounding voice. So we need a solid text-to-speech platform that gives us high-quality voices, and we've got a couple of options here. If you want to go the free route with unlimited generations, your go-to should be CapCut TTS. Now, CapCut is an editing software, yeah, but it does have very advanced text-to-speech AI models built right into it. So all you've got to do is try them out inside your editing software. And honestly, it's pretty damn good. Another good option is Clipchamp. I'm more of a fan of Clipchamp because of the quality of their voices. Clipchamp is also a video editor, but they give you natural sounding AI voice generators, which I find pretty cool. And with both of these options, you get unlimited generations. However, the quality and consistency on these platforms aren't really the best. So if you've got a little bit of budget, maybe $10 or $6, I'd recommend you use 11 Labs. 11 Labs gives you access to high-quality sounding voices. You don't have to use it, of course, but I like the way you can add emotional tags to their voices. Click on the voice option, and it brings up a voice panel on the right-hand side. Choose whatever voice you want to use. I'm going with Jeanette's voice. And make sure the V3 model is selected down here. Now, the cool thing about 11 Labs is you can open a bracket, put in the emotion you want the voiceover to have, and close the bracket. Then the voiceover speaks with that emotional tag, which is really cool. So what I'm going to do now is head over to Claude, copy a chunk of my script because I don't want to copy too much, then head over to 11 Labs, paste that in, and generate to hear how it sounds. If it sounds good, I'll download it, then copy the next chunk and paste it in to generate. And the reason we're pasting in chunks is because 11 Labs starts sounding glitchy if you put in too much text. So make sure you're putting in just the right amount of text to get those high-quality voices. Once you're done generating your voices, head back to your chatbot. All right, now on your chatbot, all you've got to do is type proceed. And when you type proceed, the next thing it does is give you a really detailed script beat map. Practically every single scene it could detect from the script it wrote for you. Right now, as you can see, we've got about 40 beats, and this is just a 90-second script, which means we're gonna have to generate about 40 different images. Now, generating all of that manually is gonna be a bit stressful. You can do it, but I figured out a way to automate the process. A creator made an extension that we're gonna use to handle this for us. So once you've got your beats, what you do now is type next to your chatbot. And what your chatbot does, as you can see, is Claude starts creating a TXT file that contains every single prompt we need to create these images in batches. So all we have to do is drop this TXT file onto a platform, and that platform generates an unlimited amount of images for us without us manually doing anything. This is really important if you've got like 200 or 400 images you want to work with. Copying those manually would be painstakingly annoying. All right, so now we've got the TXT file. I'm gonna download it to my computer. And now I need to get the extension. The extension is called ZappyFlow. It's made by a creator. Kudos to him. It's a really, really cool extension. Head over to the Chrome Web Store, find the ZappyFlow extension, and click Add to Chrome. Right now I already have it, so mine's showing Remove. But if I click Add, it downloads straight to Chrome and brings up this pop-up on the side. Now over here, all you've got to do is click on Go to Google Flow. ZappyFlow takes you straight to Flow. You just have to create a new account. And over here, make sure it says Connected to Google Flow. Down here, select the amount of images you want each prompt to generate. I want just one image. Then select the aspect ratio and the model you want to use. So I'm keeping mine at 16:9, one image, and Nano Banana 2. Once you've done that, make sure to toggle off the serial number and file name buttons. Then all you've got to do is upload the TXT file you got from your chatbot into the ZappyFlow extension. And as you can see, it's actively showing there are 40 prompts available to be used, which matches the number of beats the chatbot generated and put into that TXT file. All I've got to do now is scroll down to the Start Generating option. And what happens is the extension starts automatically copying and pasting my prompts, using Nano Banana 2 to generate the images for me on autopilot. So now I can just leave this running, go do something else, and all my images get generated for me automatically. All right, now as you can see, all 40 prompts have been executed, and we pretty much have all our images for this specific niche automatically generated, which is really cool. So I'm gonna close this extension real quick, head back to my chatbot, and type next. Now my chatbot gives me the animation prompt I'm going to use to turn my still images into high-quality, paper-style Vox animation videos. Once it gives me the universal prompt, I'm just going to copy it. Now, these prompts work with pretty much any image in your image generation flow. Once you've got the universal prompt, head over to your Flow account. And one cool thing about Flow is it also gives you access to the recent advanced model, OmniFlash. Just click at the bottom of the prompt box and switch from the image model to the video model. Select the amount of videos you want and the aspect ratio, select the OmniFlash model, and set 10 seconds as the duration. Then drag your image of choice into the prompt box, paste in your prompt, and send it. Then drag the next image into the prompt box, paste in the exact same prompt, and send it again. The prompt is universal, so all you've got to do is keep dragging your images onto the prompt box, pasting in your prompt, and sending it to Flow. So it uses the OmniFlash model to generate your videos for you completely free. Of course, OmniFlash costs about 15 credits, but I think Flow gives you over 200 credits every single day. So yeah, It's the best free-ish platform I could find. Now, while Flow is doing its thing, let's compare the results we'd get from Gemini. So let me head over to Gemini real quick. I'll click on the Upload button, and in the ZappyFlow file, it contains all the images ZappyFlow created, because it downloads them to our computer as well. I'm going to select one image, add it to the prompt box, paste in my prompt, and send it. All right, over here on Flow, I think there were a couple errors. Sometimes Flow does this. Just retry the exact same prompt again to see what the output looks like. If the error still happens, ask your chatbot to change the wording in the prompt, because it's being censored by the video generators. They make mistakes sometimes. Just make sure the prompt it gives you is very, very safe for video generation. Right, so over here, Gemini is generating our video alongside Flow. These are the top 2 free video models I can think of off the top of my head. If you've got any others you use, please don't gatekeep. Drop a comment below so I can try it out. I love giving people a lot of free resources on this channel. So yeah, let's see what the output looks like on Gemini and Flow. All right, now after a couple of seconds, we've got our animation. Let's check out what Gemini made. This looks pretty decent. I like that it was able to add sound effects as well. The animation did seem a bit slow though. But yeah, it looks pretty decent, and it matches the style we're going for. Let's check out what Flow was able to create. Yeah, Flow is doing a decent job here. It's matching the animation style we're going for, and it's really impressive. There's a bit of weird distortion in the telephone animation, but overall it looks pretty good. I like that OmniFlash is able to pull in blurred out details and still work them in, which is really, really impressive. Now all I'm gonna do from here is rinse and repeat. Run this whole workflow again. Drag the next batch of images into the prompt box, paste in the universal video prompt, and generate. All right, now once you're done generating every single video you need for your project, the next thing is to generate a background track to pair with the assets you already have, so your video looks really high quality. Now, there are a couple options, but my favorite is using AI to generate a track, because AI can give us something that perfectly fits the specific video we're working on. So I'm gonna head over to the Vox animation prompt and click on tab 3, which gives me access to the music prompt. I'll copy the prompt under tab 3 and head over to a platform called Suno AI, which is a music generation platform. On Suno, click the link, then click the Create button at the top left pop-up, which takes you to an interface that looks like this. What I like to do is toggle on the instrumental button, paste in the prompt I want to use, and send it. So Suno creates a track that perfectly fits this specific project. Once Suno is done generating your track, click on the 3 buttons at the edge of the track, scroll down to download, hit download as MP3, and it saves straight to your computer. Once you've got all that, we now need to compile all our assets into a single comprehensive video. And for this, we're going to use CapCut since it's really beginner-friendly and easy to understand. If you've never used it before, don't worry. It's very, very simple. All right, now in CapCut, all you need to do is create a new project. Then click the Import button and import the project folder you're currently working on, because I like to store all of my assets in a single folder. Right now, if I open this folder, you'll see it has my visuals, my background music, and my voiceovers all saved in there. So I'm gonna drag my background music onto the timeline and crop it. I'll reduce the volume to around -26 decibels, then add a fade in and a fade out, so it stays subtle in the background. Then I'll stretch out my timeline with the magnifying glass feature, and drag my voiceovers onto the timeline in the precise order I generated them. Because, you know, we made them in batches. Once I do that, I'll crop the background music so it's in sync with the voiceover and matches the exact length. Then I'll start dragging all of my clips onto the timeline in the exact order I generated them. Now, luckily, with the help of the animations, you don't really need to edit that much. You might need to speed up a couple of sections, but for the most part, it's just dragging and dropping things onto the timeline in the precise order they were generated. Now, of course, some clips might linger a little bit long. Those are the ones you need to crop. And here's what helps. Every beat drop in the voiceover signifies a change in narration. Just make sure your clips are cropped to match that so everything stays in sync. Then, preview how the animation turned out and see if you like it. The more in sync everything is, the better the video looks, so make sure everything's tight. And once you've synced everything up, the next thing to do is add transitions so the scene changes look really smooth. So just click on the Transitions panel in CapCut. Then scroll through the transitions to see which one works best. The 3D effects look really nice with this niche, so go through all the available options there. It's always best to play around because different transitions suit different checkpoints. Just make sure everything is synced properly and follows the exact style you want. Preview the video, make sure the narration, the visuals, and the voiceover are in perfect sync. And once you've done all that, the last thing to do is simply export your video. Since we generated our clips in 1080p, I'm going to export in 1080p. And that's pretty much it.